That isn't what it meant.
Well, what did it mean then? Explain.
It meant that it's indicative of low-resolution thinking.
Force the vote, sure, was a failure.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
Look, talk about education. I propose that what we take is those very poor schools, the Title I schools, triple the amount of money we spend from $15 to $45 billion a year. Give every single teacher a raise to the equal raise of getting out of the $60,000 level. Number two, make sure that we bring in to help the student, the teachers deal with the problems that come from home. The problems that come from home, we have one school psychologist for every 1,500 kids in America today. It's crazy. The teachers are I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. They have every problem coming to them. We have to make sure that every single child does in fact have 3, 4, and 5-year-olds go to school, not daycare, school. We bring social workers into homes with parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices.
I hate the white man. He's of the devil. He was made in a cave in the worst parts of Europe, produced from the lowest forms of humanity.
The reason the market is doing what it's doing is people are sitting at home getting the checks from the government, okay? And this fair share is a bullshit concept. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people, and, you know, I think it's inappropriate. We all got to work together and pull together.
They're coming all over the place. Coming all over the place. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All, the show. It's a family show. It's a show for your family to view with you. And so this is a show for the family. Everyone gather around the tree. Everyone gather around the tree, and we're gonna sing a fucking song. But anyway, I got a show here. It's planned. It's a planned show. Whether or not the show will go as planned, that remains to be seen. But the show has been planned, and it's been planned. So we're gonna be planning the show. I need an extra pillow for my support structure here. I need. Oh. That's right, I'm working out. This is my weighted blanket for those of you that don't understand why it's a struggle. So Max, get up here. Folks, we got some news. Max the dog is a naked doggy. Christmas sweater is in the laundry, so he is a naked ass doggy. Check this out, folks. Bada boom. Look at this. Look at this. We got a naked fucking doggy here. This should be illegal, but it's not. So take advantage. We got a naked dog. Look at him, Baba. We got a naked ass doggy here, folks. Max the dog. Look at the puppy, look at the puppy, look at the puppy, Max the puppy. You're a naked doggy. Why are you naked? Don't you know I'm trying to do a stream? You can't do that. I'm going to get banned. We got a naked doggy here, folks. I'm going to get banned, Max. Don't you know? Naked doggy. This is no good, folks. I'm sorry you have to see this. I'm sorry that this is something you have to be a witness to. Naked doggy, folks. We got a naked doggy on the show. All right. We got a naked ass doggy on the show. What? Jeez. All right, folks, let's get into it. Ads are done. There's ads. Wait a second. Can I play ads? Hold up. Boom. Just inserted an ad. All right. They call me the ad inserter. That's what they call me. He's a real great hound. That's what I'm saying. He's a huckleberry hound is what he is. All right. So we got a goddamn here that's it's gonna happen. I'm planning on it happening at some point. At some point it's gonna happen. Wait. Okay, I think it's happening. All right. So, All right. All right, so it has been 237 days since Andrew Brown Jr. was shot and killed by the Pasquotank County sheriff deputies. So we've been doing daily demonstrations here in Elizabeth City for the last 237 days. And so, very, very similar demonstrations these days. We typically will walk around downtown Elizabeth City with our megaphones, and we do our thing. We chant for justice. Sometimes we get people that, pull over, ask us about things, and we tell them what's going on. And a lot of people, follow the case just via our protests because we try to update and include new details in our chants. So we've had a lot of people that have stopped us at the end of our demonstrations and ask us, the only reason they know about the updates to the case, like, for example, Deputy Daniel Meads modifying his magazine, is because they hear our protest every day on the way home from work and that kind of stuff. So even though there's not that many people that do actually protest as compared to what there used to be, the effect is still having, there is still an effect in the community. People are still learning about what's going on, keeping up to date, and so that's a good thing. But again, we've been out here for 237 days, walking through downtown Elizabeth City, North Carolina. For those of you that don't know, again, on April 21st, Pasquotank County Sheriff deputies went into Elizabeth City and shot Andrew Brown Jr. in the back of the head. After shooting him in the back of the head and or before shooting him in the back of the head, they also shot into a neighbor's kitchen in the middle of a school zone at 8:30 in the morning. So those are all details that I feel like are really necessary to understand. The warrant was unsigned, and they lied about what the warrant was for the first week. They said it was an arrest warrant, then they said it was a search warrant, then they said it was an arrest warrant, then they said it was a search warrant. So we don't even know what the fuck they were talking about. And again, right after killing Andrew Brown Jr., Deputy Daniel Meads immediately began to modify his magazine to hide the amount of shots that were fired because he knew what he did was unjustified. He then lied to investigators about how many shots he fired because, again, he was trying to cover up how many shots he fired because he knew what he did was wrong. But again, it's America, the United States of America, land of the free, right? So what happened afterward, right? They shot and killed someone, so they went to jail, right? They shot into a neighbor's kitchen, almost killing someone else. Completely irrelevant to the case of Andrew Brown Jr. They almost killed someone else. So clearly they're going to be in jail, right? Like they have at least pending charges, right? Wrong. Actually, they got a raise, they got paid vacation, they got several hours of overtime, and they got to ride in the Christmas parade. You're thinking, what the fuck? That's what I would be thinking. Now, again, I like to liken this to the case of Breonna Taylor in Kentucky. What happened with the officers when they were charged with the murder of Breonna Taylor in Kentucky? Well, the ones who murdered Breonna Taylor got off. They're good. But one of the officers that night got charged for wanton endangerment. Why? Because when they tried to murder Breonna Taylor, when they attempted to assassinate an innocent American civilian, they missed. And their bullet went into a neighbor's apartment. And so they got charged with wanton endangerment. Now, so we look at Pasquotank County deputies here. The same instance. One of the deputies, we don't know who it is yet, fired into a neighbor's kitchen. Could have killed them. Are they going to get charged? Nope. Because this is America, motherfucker. This is the land of the free. The district attorney, the one who would charge these people if someone were to charge them, said that they couldn't let Andrew Brown get away. It was so fundamentally required by the U.S. government to murder Andrew Brown Jr., some random motherfucker in Elizabeth City that no one's ever heard of. It was so... They had to be killed. So much so that even shooting into a neighbor's kitchen in a school zone, a school is literally on this street, it's like a couple houses down, right, at 8:30 in the morning, that's okay. You did nothing wrong. In fact, you should have shot a couple more rounds into a couple other of the neighbors' houses. Everyone who lives in a 6-mile radius of Andrew Brown Jr. should have had a bullet go through their kitchen, at least according to the district attorney of Pasquotank County. So again, we see a situation here where they don't even give a fuck about even pretending to hold anyone accountable. The murderers of Andrew Brown Jr. were on a parade float just last weekend. They don't give a shit. They're bragging and they're gloating about the fact that they got away with it. Not only did they get away with it, but they got paid vacation. During a historic depression, an economic failure in this country, right? During a pandemic where people are losing their jobs, right? All you got to do, go to summer camp for 8 months. You get to murder anyone you want, and then you get 2 to 3 months of paid vacation. But then wait, there's extra. Because as soon as you get back in the office, you get a raise. And then you get overtime assignments where you sit in your car and chew tobacco and drink whiskey and do nothing and collect that sweet, sweet overtime. Because this is the US of A. Where if you're anyone else, if you're out of Bojangles, if you're out of Sonic, if you're out of Wendy's and you kill someone, shoot them in the back of the head, you go to jail. If you're a police officer, you'll get what will probably end up amounting to at least $100,000. Again, the amount of pay that these people have gotten is just it's ridiculous. I really cannot wrap my mind around it. Right? Like they sentence in Pasquotank County, weed's illegal here. So when I was going through my court proceedings, I would have to sit in the courtroom all day, several days. And they will sentence black people to jail, to prison, for having less than a gram of marijuana on them. But you can shoot someone in the back of the head and you're just fine? Having like a half-smoked joint in your back pocket, jail, motherfucker, and we're gonna take your kids away? But shoot someone in the back of the head in a school zone, shoot into a random person's kitchen, nearly killing them, shooting into a school zone. It's just another day in Pasquotank County. This is how things are done here. Shit fucking sucks, folks. I don't know what to tell you. This country is garbage. Yeah, I am a little stuffy. Ugh. Look at this dog. I got a naked doggy here. Maxie, you're naked. Where'd your clothes go? Put your clothes back on. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. Look at him. Look at him. He's got clothes on now. He's got a blankie. No one wants to see your stinky, smelly butt, Max. You're gross. You're a gross doggy. Do I even need commentary for this? Like, look at this. Just letting you absorb this because this is incredible. Alright, so that's Max the dog. I present to you Max the dog. Alright. Hello, plushie. Whew. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got a walking blanket. We got a walking blanket. Max. Max, you're crashing the stream. You're crashing the stream. Oh my god, my baby. My baby. My baby. My baby. This is my baby. Police say a couple claims grocery delivery destroyed over law enforcement support. So before I get into this, right, I just want to give you my opinions. There is no such thing as law enforcement in this country. There are slave patrols. 80% of police voted for an open neo-Nazi. 40% of police beat their spouses. So with that understood, let's get into this story. Also featuring Max the dog here. Hello, Maxie. Blaine police say an elderly couple who ordered groceries through Instacart last week opened their door to a derogatory message from the delivery driver and found their groceries destroyed. Police say it appeared the couple was targeted due to a sign supporting law enforcement that was visible in the front yard of the home. It appears the delivery driver's actions were in response to a sign that was posted, said Blaine Police Chief Brian Podani. Someone I will definitely, I will take their word, right? It couldn't be anything else. So let me get this straight. So the police say, right, that someone had their property destroyed because someone supported the police. Wow. That's crazy, right? Who would have thought? But anyway, according to a statement released by the Blaine Police Department Monday, the incident occurred deck 6 after the couple placed their grocery order from Cub Foods through the Instacart delivery service. They told police that when they got a notification indicating the delivery driver had arrived, they went outside to meet them because they were worried the driver might get stuck in the driveway due to large amounts of snow. The couple said they opened the door to the delivery person driving back and forth in the driveway and yelling for them to check the inside of their Christmas wreath. The wreath produced the receipt from their grocery order allegedly containing a derogatory message. So you have evidence. You have evidence that they had a derogatory message, right? Let me scroll down for the photo. Wait a second. There's no photo? Wait a second. What? Oh, surely it's on the GoFundMe, right? They have a GoFundMe. So where's the... Wait. Is the photo in here? Wait. Okay, so here's the receipt. Okay, here it is. Okay, I was starting to think it was fake for a second. But no, it's real. Okay. Instacart doesn't pay employees. Sorry, find another slave. Fuck the police. Oh my god, yo, this is epic. Alright, now I love the story even more. Look, this is great. Sorry, find another slave. Fuck the police. And then it says racist pigs here. Alright, that's awesome. Also, why do you need a GoFundMe for this? Like, it's like the grocery order's like $40. Like, okay, so let me get this straight. Alright. So, the grocery order is $40, and now they're raising $9,000. What? Why do you need, okay, first of all, why do you need a GoFundMe? Like, that to me is bizarre. You need a GoFundMe? Like, all you need to do is go to Instacart and say that your order was destroyed and they will refund you. Okay, we need a GoFundMe for $40. Right? That's how much groceries cost, right? Probably. Yet, they've got $9,000. To me, this sounds fake. I'm telling you, this is all fake. I'm telling you right now, I would not be shocked at all to find out that this is a fake thing. Because this is like this. In fact, I gotta get in on this. I get groceries delivered to my house. All I gotta do is get my Sharpie. I have a Sharpie somewhere. It's not within arm's reach. Yes, it is. All I have to do is get my Sharpie, write on my receipt, like, you know, fuck you, tranny, right? And then, like, I can, like, and then I'll just destroy the groceries, and then I file a false police report, and then, boom, GoFundMe, right? Is that doable? Can I do that? Is that allowed? Or does it only work if you support the cops? Is that how it goes? I don't know, but this is pretty funny. So fuck them, fuck the police, and cry about it. Also, you don't need $9,000. Go fuck yourself. Lie and say you support the cops. I'll have to wait until I move because, like, the cops here already know that I don't like them. So, reminder, the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department published my address on Facebook. So that's how the cops are very well aware of my opinion on them. So if I ever move, I'll have to try that with a different police department, unfortunately. Max, you're naked. You're a naked doggy. Look at him. He's fucking running around in the nude. You're a naked doggy. Why are you so naked? I'm gonna cover you up because you're naked, Max. You need to put some clothes on. Look at you. Look at this. All right. Neo, this is the reason I love cats more. First of all, fuck you. Second of all, fuck you, motherfucker. Third of all, fuck you. I like dogs. Fourth of all, fuck you again. Am I going to talk about Julian Assange? I don't have it on my list, but if you want to know my opinion, Julian Assange, I don't like him as a person. But the latest details with the extradition are horrible. I do not support what's happening to him. I wish he would have his charges dropped. That being said, I find that there's like a weird cult around him that I don't necessarily appreciate. And I personally think that there's like a weird cult around him that I honestly, if there's anything that, like, if I'm allowed to conspire for a second here, right? If I can talk about, right, the Assange cult, that is COINTELPRO. Like, I'm just saying, right, the idea, right, that you're gonna, like, I would not be shocked at all to find out that this online Assange cult was all paid by the CIA to make Assange, like, seem like an unlikable prick. That's my opinion, right? Because he should not be in prison, he should not be jailed, maybe he should be in prison for sexual assault and rape, but besides that, he should not be in prison for publishing whatever he published on WikiLeaks, right? So that's my opinion on that one. But he's got this really strange cult about him that I honestly, like, because, like, I've made comments about Assange in the past, and whenever I do so, I get this weird fucking cult that harasses the shit out of me, and it's fucking bizarre, like, and it's strange, and, like, they do, like, even though I support, like, Assange being freed, if I say something like, I don't like him, or he's kind of creepy, or he says bad things about, like, trans people, right, you get this weird cult that just harasses the shit out of you. So, like, you know, I don't know, man. It sounds like COINTELPRO to me. I'm just saying. Like, I'm like, if COINTELPRO still exists, the Assange cult, that has to be one of their projects. It really does. But that's my opinion. Why didn't he release info on the Republicans? That's a good question. But this thing, he's not being extradited for the 2016 leaks. He's being extradited, to my understanding, over the Chelsea Manning drone strike videos. Which, I mean, I know Chelsea. She's a nice person, right? Like, those are extremely important information that was released. And so, like, that she shouldn't be in jail for that. If you want to jail him for other things, if you want to charge him for other things, that's fine. So, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. Reminder, the CIA tried to assassinate Assange, too. That's pretty good. But yeah. That's my take on Assange. But I'm not going to make a video about it because I don't feel like dealing with these weirdos. They're really strange. I'm new here, and I've been watching this for only 10 days ago. And, okay, so that's a great sentence. All right, let's start there. So, this is a complete sentence. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Okay. I'm new here and have been watching this for only 10 days ago, and That's amazing. That's really good. You are really beautiful. Ampersand have helped me get through a really difficult few days. Sincerely, thanks so much. Well, I mean, you know, I don't mean to make fun of your grammar. But no, I appreciate that. Thank you. Can I ask how you found the show? I'm very interested in how, like, new viewers find the show. Like, because, like, I feel like I don't get that many new viewers as much, like, you know, so it's like, if someone, like, finds me from, like, a specific kind of segment or something, I like to, you know, maybe I'll lean into that a little bit more. But, you know, I hope that your difficult days are getting better. You know, I've had difficult days, this year for sure, so, I feel it. But, there you go. Thank you. Those are just Jimmy Dore fans. I know, it's weird, though. It's strange. Like, I mean, it's strange. Like, if anyone, like, if the goal is to make Assange be as unlikable as possible, the cult around him, right, is doing that better than anyone else could ever dream of. Like, it really is. For sure. You demolishing or letting Jackson demolish himself. Reminder, I destroyed Jackson Hinkle so hard in a debate that he literally removed communist from his bio. Did anyone ever notice that? Like, the last time he debated someone, he was a communist. Now he is no longer a communist. I destroyed him so hard by just letting him talk his ass off, and now he's no longer a communist. Right? It's incredible. Like, I mean, I appreciate that one. Dystopia Discourse sent me here. Is that like a person? So, like, were you a Jackson Hinkle fan, or did you just know who he is and like watching him embarrass himself, and then that's how you found me?
Force the vote, sure, was a failure.
Hello, Affex. We got a lot of fucking viewers here today. I got a lot of people. Got lots of people. Tons of people. Plenty of people. So let's get in to... I love how right after you finished with Jackson Jinkle, you said you weren't paying attention to a lot of what he was saying because it was boring. It was. Make shorts? Can you tell me more about that? Your show popped in my feed right after Ben Dixon about 2 months ago. I enjoy your commentary. Ben Dixon has done a lot of good things for me, let me tell you. He helped boost me a lot last year, which I appreciate. I was on Ben's show in June, I think. So if you haven't seen that one, go check it out. YouTube, TikTok. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Okay. When Andrea talks to the chat, it sounds like she is speaking to ghosts in the room. That's probably what Max thinks, right? That's probably Max is like, who the fuck is this bitch talking to for an hour and a half every day? Y'all gotta try to bully Ben Dixon into coming on my show. That's gonna be the next step. Every time, like, he does a call-in show, you gotta call in and beg that motherfucker to come on my show. Say, what the fuck's going on here? Max is honestly a huge draw. Max is a dog. I don't know if you knew that, but he is a dog. Can you tell me more? How did you get here exactly? Dystopia Discourse is a leftist with a Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. He's on hiatus right now, but eventually he's coming back. Did they, like, retweet me or something? The YouTube algo did one good thing for me and recommended you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I do a daily show. So I try to be as consistent in output as possible. One, because it's not, it doesn't take that much time, to be honest with you. Like, it's not hard to do like an hour and a half or so every day. And then it takes me about an hour to like edit and upload all the videos. So that's like 2.5 hours every day, 7 days a week. It's not that bad. And I enjoy it, and I enjoy the conversations. So, have you heard any more background music? Motherfucker, y'all were fucking with me yesterday. But the title of yesterday's show was like, I'm high right now or whatever. I woke up high, so go easy on me. Y'all did not go easy on me. Y'all saw that title and were like, let's go hard as a motherfuck on this bitch. Hinkle banned me from his Twitch chat after I called Jimmy Dore a fascist adjacent grifter and then told him to go fuck himself. Oh shit. Well, I mean, I think Jackson Hinkle fucks himself on the reg, but that's just my prediction. Anyway, let's get into some news. Speaking of fucking yourself on the reg, apparently Mike Pence is maybe planning on running for president. So let's read. This is from The Hill. Former Vice President Mike Pence's visit to New Hampshire last week and stops in other high-profile early primary states are fueling speculation about a potential 2024 presidential run and questions about whether he can win over the GOP voters he angered on January 6th. Now, keep in mind, right, more than half of Republican voters believe in conspiracy theories like QAnon, the election was stolen, right? Now, not even this, but also imagine this, right? Oh, you might be thinking, oh, they believe in these kind of batshit conspiracy theories, right? But also factor in that 70% of Americans believe in Jesus. They believe in angels. 70% of Americans, this isn't Republicans, this is all Americans, including Democrats, believe that an invisible man in the sky with a long white beard, who's white, I guess, even though every account that ever exists ever of him he's not white, but that's fine. Created he impregnated a virgin who totally didn't, just go fuck someone and then lie about it later. That totally didn't happen. And then had some godly kid, and then that kid has angels, and then there's ghosts and snakes and apples and shit. 70% of Americans believe in that. So when you factor in that, right, and the Republican Party is like 90-something% of Republicans believe in angels. They believe in Jesus Christ. They think that the story in the Bible is real. Right? Like, can you imagine that? Like, imagine you read the Bible and you're like, God damn, that really happened. That's the Republican Party. Right? And so you have to understand, Mike Pence is that guy. He's that guy who loves to talk about Jesus and God and the snakes and all that kind of stuff. Right? He loves angels, and that was why Trump picked him in 2016. Because the evangelical base was like, yo, this guy literally is on tape saying he rapes people. That's a little anti-Jesus. And then Mike Pence comes around and is like, no, trust me. He loves God. Believe me. I'm the God guy. You know I'm the God guy. Trump's a God guy. He's a man of God, right? So that backfired. Now, half of Republicans think Trump literally is God, right? So that's not, Pence's whole plan backfired, right? So I would love to see Pence go toe-to-toe with Trump here. I think it would be hilarious. I think it would be great. But let's read some more of this article. In his most direct comments to date, Pence did not rule out a potential 2024 bid, even if Trump also entered the race, as the former president is increasingly hinting he'll do. I can honestly tell you in 2023, my family and I will do what we have always done. We'll reflect, we'll pray, and determine what might be best served, and we'll go where we're called, Pence told a CNN reporter in Manchester, New Hampshire on Wednesday. A 2024 run will likely require Pence to figure out a way to address his time in the Trump administration, first as a loyalist, and then as a target of extreme anger by the former president and his backers. Again, I need to be very clear. 70% of Americans are so batshit fucking insane that they believe in invisible men in the sky and angels watching over them. They think Jesus is watching them jerk off. Literally, they think that, right? So that's why Mike Pence was able to assume the vice presidency. That's why he's able to do so well in the Republican Party. So don't forget that. You might think, right, that, oh, they wanted to kill him on January 6th, so, there's no way in hell. I could see a Trump versus Pence battle happening, and I personally think Trump's going to win. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think Pence has a shot at all if Trump is in the race. I don't think that at all, let me be clear. But I think that it could be interesting to watch. I think that Pence could do some damage. I'm just saying, I think it could be interesting. But anyway, I don't care about the rest of this at all. But I just wanted to talk about that. Pence 2024? I don't know. So we'll see how that goes. But again, I don't think if Trump runs, he's got it on lock. There you go. Who would be Trump's VP? Kyle Rittenhouse? The new Tim Heidecker sketch about angels is hilarious. I should check it out. Hey, Sparky Pete. Thanks for the vids. ... That's very ominous. Hey, thank you for those videos. Like, what the fuck? You're like whispering in my ear with that shit. Haha. ... Oh, man.
That big cities are dealing with these smash and grab robberies right now, an increase in criminal activity because some prosecutors are too soft on crime.
I would say we have seen, I'm not going to attribute the reasoning from here. What I will tell you is we have seen an increase in crime over the course of the pandemic. There are a range of reasons for that. And what our focus is on is what we can do to address it. The president has proposed additional funding in the budget to make sure local police departments and cops have the funding they need.
Trash. I just want to be very clear. Crime is on a huge, like, decade-wide downtrend. Also, what is crime? What is crime? When they do these crime statistics, what is crime? Getting arrested for having a fucking half-smoked blunt in your back pocket. That's crime in the United States of America, right? And also, the media manipulates all this shit. Smash and grab, rioters and looters. That happens almost every day all over the country. But when the media focuses on it, people get scared. There's a lot of studies that have been done that say people's fear of crime rises as actual crime numbers and statistics decrease. So crime is getting less and less and less and less abundant, right? Like crime is going down, but people are getting more afraid of crime. Why? Because of media reporting. But wait a second, it's about to get good. So Joe Biden is tripling police funding. I'm sure that'll be great for people that are, not white in this country, right? They're going to love that. But let's keep going because this gets even better.
We have also worked directly with police departments in areas where they are seeing the highest impact of the crime, the retail theft, which we have great concern about. That's what our focus is on currently, is action and doing what we can to make sure the funding is out there to the communities that need it the most.
But I guess, what good does it do if you're going to give police departments extra money if they arrest bad guys and they bring them to jail and then they're not prosecuted? They're just right back out on the streets.
I think, Peter, what our focus is on is making sure that
Also, the question here makes no sense. There is literally not a single situation where prosecutors just go like, you're fine. I think what they're referring to is, there's a lot of prosecutors that said that they will not, go really hard after people that, don't do, there's, a minimum threshold or something. A couple prosecutors are doing that. But again, that's not that they get off scot-free. It's not like they go to jail and then they just go, they're done. It's like they have to pay fines. There's all this other kind of bullshit. They're just not being thrown in prison, right? Again, it's all about media manipulation here. Right, this is all media manipulation. This is a made-up bullshit, right? You need to be scared at all times. If you're an American and you're not fucking scared to death, then you're not really an American, you're a loser, right? So that's in the minds of Fox News. But wait, again, because it's going to get really good. Check it out.
Local leaders, the police officers and departments who know what they need for these communities have the assistance and the funding they need. And that's what we're working around the clock on.
So the final one would be, just in the last week, we saw a New York Post item about a pickpocket with more than 30 arrests back out on the street. We've seen an arsonist burn down a $500,000 Christmas tree in New York City.
Can we talk about, by the way, I didn't know that this cost $500,000 before seeing this clip. If you are spending $500 500,000 United States motherfucking goddamn dollars on a Christmas tree, I've got news for you. You should go fuck yourself. Like, I'm just throwing that out there. So,
back out on the streets. Does the president think that that's good governing?
Again, I think I've spoken to the president's concerns about retail theft. If you have specific, and the actions we've taken for specific cases, I would point you to the local police departments or the Department of Justice. Go ahead, Kelly.
On the mansion.
So there you go, folks. Again, I just wanted to cover this because I love like that they're still crying about the Christmas tree. There's no reason to bring up the Christmas tree here at all, but they know it's going to get they know it's going to get the headlines. Again, I'm talking about it because of the Christmas tree. But again, I want to be very clear. Crime is going down. Yes, there might be like month-to-month spikes in crime. That happens all the time. Sometimes things happen, like they get like, you know, again, month-to-month or week-to-week spikes, and then things go back down, right? That's just fluctuations in the country that we live in. But again, this idea that people that are engaging in criminal activity aren't being held accountable just because they're not being thrown in prison is ridiculous, right? Now, again, think about this. Why would people pickpocket? Now, there might be a small amount of people that are just in it for the rush, like that, you know, the kleptomaniacs, like that bitch in Breaking Bad, right? So that's possible, but most people engage in robbery and theft because of lack of resources for their home. It's the only way that they can think of in order to feed their families. That is a large reason why these crimes take place. So if you were, instead of finding them and throwing them in prison, right, again, you steal $10,000 and then you have to pay that back, right? And then you're back out, but you don't have the $10,000, so you're going to go find another way to get the money, right? So again, if we would just give people in poverty money and resources, the kinds of crime that we're looking at right here would cease to exist. It would just stop. It would stop existing. Like, yes, there might be those weirdos like in Breaking Bad that go to the fucking jewelry shop and go like, right? That might happen, but that is the extreme minority. That is the extreme minority of why people engage in theft like that. Right? If we lived in a country where people's basic needs were met, they wouldn't be struggling and doing all these kinds of things to achieve those basic needs. So I just wanted to talk about that again. Crime is not an issue. Crime is it's a symptom of a bigger problem, and that is the impoverished conditions that people in this country are living in. So again, like, hey, I'm just gonna let y'all know I've stolen things because I had no money before. I've stolen food before. Fuck it. So just, you know. Now, I've never been picked up for it, but, you know, I'm admitting to a crime. I've stolen food. I've stolen things that I could sell for food before. I've been there, so no, you know. Now, I would say I prefer to steal from corporations, right? Like Walmart, for example. You know, I wouldn't dream of stealing from another individual, but, you know, some people unfortunately are in that position. And that's not to say that that's not to say it's not a good thing. I'm not saying, well, crime is excused, you know, killing someone in a muggery or mugging. That's, you know, that's not to say that that's excused behavior, but it is to say, if you don't want that to happen, there's ways to fix it. So there you go. Muggery. I don't know. Isn't that what it is? Muggery? I don't know. What the fuck? Anyone out here engaging in muggery on this fine morning? Here's an interesting story that I want to talk about. Woman sues the city of Portland for $10,000 over menstrual health effects of tear gas. A woman is suing the city of Portland for $10,000, claiming tear gas deployed by police during summer 2020 demonstrations caused lasting damage to her menstrual health. Michael Fuller, an attorney representing the 41-year-old, filed the civil rights complaint Sunday in Multnomah County Circuit Court. The lawsuit requests a jury trial up to $10,000 and a judgment that the city was negligent in its use of tear gas. Can we be honest here, folks? Tear gas is banned in the Geneva Conventions. Like, is anyone acknowledging that? And it also doesn't really work, right? Like, there have been studies that said that tear gas helped spread COVID-19, right? If you have COVID-19 and you coughed, right, the COVID particles, right, would travel within the tear gas and then infect other people. It destroys the environment. It causes damage to, plants and nature. It's just horrible for you. It's horrible for you. It's horrible for the environment. And it lingers in the atmosphere for an extended period of time. Fuller said the city has about 1 month to respond. Deploying tear gas is by its very nature a very dangerous activity, Fuller told the Oregonian. The city knew or should have known that it was a harmful, toxic chemical. The city attorney's office declined to comment on the pending litigation. Vasquez moved out of her home in southeast Portland's Buckman neighborhood in August 2020 after experiencing months of cramping and irregularities in her menstrual cycle that she said were brought on by tear gas. Buckman is the first neighborhood across the river from downtown Portland, the site of most of the city's tear gas used. Vasquez said the gas would drift into her home through her windows and screen door. Now again, if you look back during 2020 when all of this was happening, I covered this a couple times on my show, is the effects of tear gas. It's not just, oh, all right, everyone went home. Like, okay, the most charitable interpretation of tear gas. Oh, there's a riot! Rioters and looters are running through the streets! There's blacks everywhere! We gotta get... Okay, and then they go home, right? So, all right, that's the most charitable interpretation, right? Except that doesn't happen, right? When you use tear gas, all it does is make everyone upset. And all it does is continue the demonstrations, right? Again, if people did a demonstration against police brutality and the cops are like, you know what? We understand. In fact, I quit. I take off my badge right now. I agree with you. In fact, here's some stories on my coworkers that did these crimes and I'm on your side. If that were to happen, none of this stuff would happen, right? But tear gas, all it does is agitate people. So the rioters and looters don't magically disappear when tear gas is used. Okay, that doesn't happen. Maxie. When Max sometimes he freaks out when he's streaming because he's an abused dog and he's got trauma or whatever. So I like to make sure he's okay. But yeah. So it's not like everyone just goes home, right? And there's like, oh well, they put out the tear gas, so I guess you want to go get some dinner. Like that's not that doesn't happen, right? So it makes people upset, right? And then it also again has these other effects where it gets inside people's homes, it gets inside the water supply, it poisons the water supply, it poisons plants, it poisons animals, right? It causes long-term health effects that help spread the COVID-19 pandemic, right? And then it also doesn't even solve the problem, right? So, and then it's banned in the Geneva Conventions, right? So why is this? What? I say sue him for $10 million. Fuck 10,000. Sue him for $10 million. Fuck him. But anyway, this person was just walking around and was not engaging in the rioting nor the looting and has to deal with the consequences of police brutality just because cops are stupid. So again, this whole bullshit campaign with police controlling rioters, it doesn't happen. All it does is make situations worse. All it does is have unintended, or maybe, depending on their perspective, intended side effects. And again, you can just solve all of these problems by, I don't know, ceasing to murder people. Maybe stop disproportionately murdering black people. Maybe stop disproportionately arresting black people for doing the same crimes as white people. Maybe, I don't know, stop killing people in general, like again, maybe stop using chemical weapons. Maybe stop, beating the shit out of people, maybe stop, arresting the press. Maybe if cops just, I don't know, followed the law. If cops followed the law that the rest of us followed, I've got a question, right? Let's say I'm afraid of large groups of people, right? Like, let's just say for whatever reason, right? And let's say I'm trying to watch a movie and the movie theater's packed. So I just bring out some tear gas and clear out the movie theater. am I going to be fine or am I going to go to jail? So how come cops? Oh, sorry, I'm uncomfortable because there's a lot of people in the street right now. I'm just going to throw some tear gas down. Is that okay? They're fine. Have cops been charged for this? No. Have they been fired for this? No. If you bring around tear gas and just, oh shit, there's a street performer and there's 40 people dancing at the sidewalk. It makes me uncomfortable. Just going to throw down some tear gas. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to go to jail. So again, this is another example of police thinking that they're above the law. They don't care about the side effects. They don't care about what happens. They don't even care about solving the actual problems that they're dealing with right now. They don't care about anything except for feeling more powerful than everyone else. So that's the situation. So I hope this woman wins the case on that one. All right, folks. So I'm gonna weigh in on the Dr. Oz thing. We're going to go in. So I remember, now again, I'm 25 years old. I was born and raised in New Jersey. So this guy was on TV all the time in New Jersey. I don't know if it's like a national thing, because I know he's affiliated with Oprah or something. I'm not sure. But either way, all I know is this guy would be on TV almost every single day. Almost every single day on the news in the morning, on the radio in the New Jersey area. I don't know if it's the New Jersey thing because I grew up there, and I know he's a New Jersey resident and he's running in the Pennsylvania Senate race. I'm not sure what's going on there. He's also polling ahead of, what is the guy's name? Fetterman, I think. Is polling ahead of him in the Senate race. So that's not good. But again, so he's being censored. He's being censored because local media is not calling him doctor. Now, you might not know this, but he is not a doctor. He's not a practicing doctor. I believe his license expired in 2008 or 9 or something. Feel free to fact check me on that. But again, I know who this guy is. I don't want to know who this guy is. If I could delete this guy from my memory, I would, but I can't. But let's see why he's being censored. Let's listen.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're putting their thumb on the scale. And here's the thing. There's such an enthusiastic response to the campaign. I'm here in Pittsburgh talking to people, and it makes me optimistic because they've got great ideas. Meanwhile, the Inquirer hates that I'm empowering you, hates that I'm taking on some of the established folks, hates that the entrepreneurial solutions that I'm offering might make sense, and they don't like that I say what I see. So they want to silence me. And I tell you, it is shocking that it would make them that uncomfortable.
If you can see here on the Chiron, right, the Twitter progress bar kind of fucks it up. But they are using his first name on Fox. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, this early in my campaign, but I think it's reflective of the movement we represent.
Well, they're trying to cancel you. I saw your Twitter. That's what you said.
And the Twitter response that I posted back got a huge response because people see it. I mean, you can't look away. Why would the Inquirer get involved in this process? Why would they not want to call me Dr. Oz? Everyone knows I'm Dr. Oz, but they don't think it's the right thing to do. They think it gives me an unfair
I've got a question. Wait.
Advantage. I think what...
I love this Chiron. Philly paper removes doctor from Oz's name. I love this idea that you're just entitled to being called... that's it's like college professors going around saying, "Oh, I'm professor. You call me professor, thank you." No, your name's fucking I don't know, Fred. You're not a professor. You're fucking Fred, bitch. Right? So again, he's not a practicing doctor, right? He let his license to practice medicine lapse 10 years ago, right? But again, this is one of those motherfuckers that just sells bullshit on TV. He's a snake oil salesman. He sells bullshit on TV to empower stupid people into thinking that they're not stupid. And again, the guy's a Republican, right? He's a con man. He's a fucking loser. And he's probably going to win in Pennsylvania because Pennsylvania's got a large amount of stupid motherfuckers that live there, especially in like the more rural parts of the state. I know. I've been to Pennsylvania many times. I know a lot of people in Pennsylvania. I know a lot of great people in Pennsylvania. You know, I just went to Philadelphia a couple months ago. Great people. Love the people there. But there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers in Pennsylvania. Let's just be honest with, you know, we got to be honest here. We tell it how it is. There's some stupid ass motherfuckers, right? But again, the idea that you're censored because no one is using like a fucking honorific title, it's fascinating. To me, it's fascinating. It really is. But again, he's probably going to win. So imagine Dr. Oz in the Senate, folks. Like, I'm just throwing that out there. Like, imagine that scenario. I will probably jump into the Schuylkill River if that happens. Like, so I'm just throwing that out there. Fuck Dr. Oz. Fuck the Wizard of Oz. Actually, just kidding. Unfuck the Wizard of Oz because there's a Muppet version of the Wizard of Oz, which is good. So don't watch the original. Watch the Muppet version. But fuck Dr. Oz and fuck Oprah. By the way, fuck Oprah. Fuck her in the face. She's not cool. She's a fucking loser. Fuck you. And fuck Fox News. And fuck Pennsylvania. So fuck them all straight to hell. That's all I got. That's it. That's the segment. I live on the rural PA border near the crazy guy who has swastikas and white power flags and shit all over his house. That's crazy. That's fucking nuts. Holy crap. I think you were confusing Dr. Oz with Dr. Phil. I think Dr. Oz still has his license. Let me fact check that. Andrew Kohler, $5. Return to Oz is an underrated masterpiece of a film. I've never even heard of it. I'm trying to find, like, I might be getting him confused with Dr. Phil. It's possible. I'm fact-checking myself here. Is he really still a doctor? Well, I may be wrong. It's possible. Well, I'll look at it later. Yeah, Return to Oz. It exists, apparently. Alright, well, I mean, it's possible. I'll accept that I'm wrong. On that one, I'll accept that I'm wrong. But he's still a motherfucker. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. I'm like hungry as hell for some reason. I am hungry. I am hungry. Let's see what's trending online. Folks, I'm looking at the trends. That's right. See what's trending. Hassan got banned from Twitch for a week for saying cracker. That's trending. Nazi Germany is trending. Let's find this out. Tory MP under fire for likening COVID health passes to Nazi Germany. Oh, that's smart. Marcus Feisch. What a fucker. All right, folks. I think the show is over. I mean, I'm not sure yet, but it might be over. Tesla will accept Dogecoin as payment for its merchandise. That's why Dogecoin hit. It's up fucking 20% today. Okay. Dogecoin is up, but all my other cryptos are down, motherfucker. I'm mad as hell. I'm mad as hell, folks. I'm gonna turn into a crypto tuber again at some point. Anyway, I think the show is over, folks. So I want to say thank you for watching to my new viewers. Yeah, Elon had like a meltdown over Bitcoin because like he can't manipulate the price as easily as he could with Dogecoin or something. I remember that happening a couple months ago. But anyway, folks, I've got to use the bathroom, so I'm going to go do that. I'm going to end the show. The show is over. So I'd like to say thank you for watching to my new viewers. I've got to use the bathroom, so that's happening. It's happening right now, actually. So.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? Yes, sir. And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for